Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing Meet Your Maker and we're at the Traps Advisor. And we're going to look at the Sentinel trap. I had a YouTube subscriber ask me if I would do a video on it, and I said yes, I would. They wanted to know if it was actually worth using. And actually, my answer would be yes. This simple fact, yes, it's worth using. It's called the Platin Sentinel. It constantly fires bolts of plasma from all sides, and it will trigger until it's destroyed. It's a constant trap, just like the incinerator is a constant trap, and the death piston. They just continue to go, 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 go. And this trap is, I believe, 50 capacity. Standard. That's how much it's going to cost you in your outpost to use it. If you go to the upgrade tab, it's got Eagle Eye, which allows it to see farther. It's got the plasma cloud, which we're going to look at in the workshop when we get there, and it's got the self-destruct. Which is self-explanatory. It blows itself up. What's great about the self-destruct with this trap is it won't affect other traps and it won't affect itself. So if you've got two of these traps next to each other, then they won't hurt themselves. If one gets blown up and it goes into self-destruct, it won't destroy the one next to it and it won't affect any other traps, but it will kill a raider. So we'll look at that. I don't have the second wave mod. I don't usually use it for this trap. But if you find that you want to use it in second wave, go ahead and get this mod and you can mod it. The trap will then only activate after the Genmat is taken. All right, so let's go into the workshop and I'll show you quickly what this trap is all about. We'll go to build. Let's go to the workshop. I'm still using the Apollo as my workshop. I haven't gotten a new workshop yet. I'm still keeping my eye out. Get a battleground just for my workshop videos. I've pre-done the battlefield here a little bit just to show you a good setup for these things. So let's say I am in a room here, and the room is this, okay? And we would know that the room would have a ceiling. All right, and that would be gone. That would be. Actually, these would have to be half walls for this to work, and for line of sight. Just bear with me here for a second. Okay. All right. So that's what the room looks like. You'll notice that wall there is cutting off half that trap, that Sentinel trap. Same thing with that side. Half that is being cut off. What's great about it is you can cover 50% of the trap up and it will still fire through that opening. Now, in this situation, they're only utilizing that face, right? But if I added another trap, all right, let's put it up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right there. And you can see that if I'm over here, it'll be able to fire at me. If I'm over here, it'll be able to fire at me. And I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to put one here. Now, this is what people frown upon as a death box. But I just wanted you to see how crazy uber this setup can be. All right. Okay, so I'm going in here, and this is the room. And it's, and again, I can put that there to help protect it a little bit. And then obviously we would have two more blocks up there to cover the roof. Now the other thing we want to do, so we don't want that one there because we need them to see this. I had forgotten that I put that flame trap in. All right, so let's put, and you want to pair the Sentinels with other traps. You really do. And you want the person to have a problem getting through the room. You don't want to make the room super easy to get through. I guess if I put those there, I don't really need those there. And we can put other traps here. So that's what the setup would be. And that would be the crossfire you need. And if you wanted to be quite OP about it, if you wanted to get their attention, you would then have maybe a couple hornets just flying down into the place. You know, just come down like this, and that's that. And then what you do is you just build a room up here with a roof, so people, you know, so those can fly down. But let's test it. And the reason why I added all the noise, it took the time, because I know this video is on the Sentinels, but I want you to know that you got to have noise with them for them to. Oh, I thought I was already up there. So, I mean, they're just devastating. I mean, they'll just open you right up, and those are not even modded. You see, I had to pause for that piston there. I mean, it's a good setup. I'm going to respawn again. So if I shoot whoop, get out of here. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, it's a great. Whoop, missed it. It's a great little death box trap setup. I'm gonna go back in and show you the mods on it. But this example here, I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that you could cover half the trap up to protect it from the bolts. All right. So we're going to delete that. Now we're going to go up here. I got to delete that Hornet. I was just showing, you never want to use those things, you know, Sentinels without some sort of noise, because you don't want people just to go at them. Their priority, my opinion with them are, they're quite priority on my list of what you take out first, only because of this mod here, the Plasma Cloud mod. You can see how I was able to just put it up there in the air. And that's pretty cool, and it can shoot from all sides. So if you're in a room, I'm gonna get rid of these guys. If you're in a room with them, an open room with hornets flying around and whatnot, they're pretty deadly when they're just hanging up there. So it's just hanging up there, and you'll see, you know, it's gonna shoot down. Oh, wow, I fell right into the piston. Whoop. Come on, Tarkus, get out of the way. Run. Get out of my own death trap. There we go. All right, so you can see that that's the mod. That's the mod that we're seeing being shot. It's a circle. Let me see if I can get it to fire where I'm standing. So it's a circle that it puts on the ground. So it's nice for jamming up a hole. So if you've got an entrance like this, just a small entrance, and you got one here in the ceiling, and it's just jamming the hole up with that mod, when that mod fires the plasma area, then you can really slow a raider down, because it can definitely be used to slow raiders down. Is, you know, have it fire in a narrow hallway, and if they're not running or you have a way to, you know, slow them down with the one piston, because again, that's this setup here that I showed you is a deadly setup with them in the four corners, and it's just crazy nasty. It's a nice little thing, but you can see that you can make them float. And they get the self-destruct. Now let me show you an example with the self-destruct real quick, and then we'll call it a video. All right. So let's say I am, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of this noise. All right. So I've got this hallway here, and I put one of the Sentinels here in the hallway. Now, this is probably not going to get an experience raider. This setup will probably not get anyone experience, but if you put this setup in a normal base, then you might get a few people. So you get the plasma cloud on it, and you get the self-destruct on it. And then you make this room with the angle. See how I got the corners angled? And then it goes down into this hallway. And then you would be coming from this. This hallway is where you'd be coming from. So if I told it to test it from here, hopefully it'll listen this time. Yep, there we go. Then I take this corner, and there it is. It shoots at me. and then it puts that. And if I'm not witty, I'm stuck in this thing. It's slowing me down. If I'm not witty, it's going to kill me. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, geez, I can easily shoot that target. And I'm like, yeah, you probably can. That's why it's not going to get the expert. But if I shoot it and then get down into this area as a speedrunner, it's AoE for its self-destruct, which again, I told you it won't affect other traps, but it will kill the raider, will get you in this little death circle. So if you just want to hope that you get a speedrunner with it, then that's a setup right there. Is you've got the this round room, and if they speed run up to it, now you could probably get away. I'll have to get in the back into the building mode. You could go away. I mean, you could add capacity to this by protecting it with well, there's a couple objects. I don't think you can protect it with this object. You might be able to. If I can remember, yep, that's it right there. And if I do, no, because it would have to be off that wall there. And Harvey won't be able, I don't think Harvey could get past that. I think Harvey could get past that though. Yeah, I think Harvey can get past that. So I believe this would work here, because I believe Harvey can get through here. I can't really tell because this isn't a valid Harvey path, but I think he can. Maybe if he's, yeah, I think he can. So if you were to protect it like that, and then we'd test it from here. How the hell did I get way down here? All right. So come around the corner. Oh, it's not seeing me through that. It's not it sees me there, but it's not now. So that's not going to work because it's not seeing me. This is not the best setup, but I think if you added this kind of setup to an easy normal base and you don't have experienced raiders, I think it would get you a few kills. Yeah, that can't be there because it's the line of sight. And you would cap this thing. That should be so you need to cap it for it to work. And again, depending on what kind of capacity you want to spend on this thing, you could put a couple pistons in. Oh, I don't know why it does that to me. I clicked piston. You could put a couple pistons in to slow or stop a bolt from getting down there. But I mean, with this kind of setup, I would go with the flame or the incinerator. If you're going to put that much capacity involved with the pistons, then you want the incinerator. I think just this kind of setup here, again, won't get the experienced raider. It will definitely get a newer player that's not aware of their surroundings and what's going on. Well, that's really it in a nutshell. I don't think I could think about anything more about it. I mean, I think it's very effective, especially in larger rooms that have critters flying around, or rooms that are designed to slow people through it, I call it a quagmire room, where they've got the floor all weirded out, the ceiling all weirded out, and you got to tiptoe through the whole place. And in that situation, these things planted in strategic locations, a couple of them cross-firing, included into noise. You got to have noise with them, because if they're standing by themselves, they're just going to be ripped apart. I mean, any experienced raider knows if those things are just by themselves, they're just target practice at that point. They're not really, you're just wasting capacity. So you've got to pair them with either more sentinels or other noisy things, because it comes down to the experienced raider trying to prioritize what it is they need to attack first. And in my opinion, you always want to shoot the plasma sentinel because that stupid AoE it leaves on the floor, especially in tight small rooms, and pathways that you can use just to slow them down. I've seen stupid bases, and I'm going to show you this right here. And please don't do stupid bases like this, where they line the wall like this, or they line the wall like this down the path, and then every single one of these holes has a corrosive cube in it, and this is no skill at all kind of stupidness. So they So they basically line the floor, and this would be another one deep, and so you'd have this walkway, and then this would be one deep further with the corrosive cubes, and here on this wall is where they would put the Sentinel. So you'd be forced to run down this stupidness, and what they'll do is they'll put pistons down this entire floor to ceiling. So there would be a piston here, and then there'd be one above us in the ceiling. Piston here, one above us in the ceiling. So you're slowly breaking through the pistons, and these things are just firing at you, and they're all on self-destruct. So they're all on self-destruct. So if you go to deal with them, fly over to them with your sword, you've got, I mean, it's just a nightmare room. And that's what the guys are complaining about, kill boxes. The room that I made when we first started this, I don't look at that as a traditional kill box, even though it is a kill box. This setup here, this ridiculous, stupid setup, you'd have a roof on this thing, and then you would make it so hard to run down here that these things are just going to unload on you, and it's just not fun. It's just really not fun. It's not fun for the raider at all, and it just makes you look like a noob. Try to use your Sentinel in a unique way, not a spam one room way. That's just nonsense, and I just frown upon it. I really do. I see a lot of bases that are set up like I just showed you, just silly nonsense. All right, well, hopefully this video finds you well, and thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.